All right, so this is part two of this day's podcast, I guess. It's not really this week's podcast. Podcast number 3, Nostalgia Hour. Because we just have too much to say about old video games.
Yes, we do.
We ended the last one with Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. The original one, not the newer ones. I think one of the newer ones is My Life as a King. It was a goofy Sims or something like that.
Yeah, they have a new Crystal Chronicles now that it looks.
I saw one that was it looked kind of cool, but I never got to play it.
Yeah, it's for the Wii though. That's why.
Yeah, that's why I didn't get to play it.
But it looks promising in comparison to the others. It actually has a story.
The graphics for the original Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles were impressive, considering.
Yeah.
They're about as good as some of the graphics on the Wii today. Just kind of sad.
That's a sad thing. Okay, yeah, we gotta talk about that. We gotta talk about how shitty the Wii is in comparison to the GameCube.
We'll leave that for another podcast. Right now we're talking about old video games. So yeah, I think we've said just about all we can on Crystal Chronicles because we pretty much summed up the fact that it's a brilliant game. Despite the fact that it's aged like 10 years.
I don't care. I'll still play it.
Yeah, I want to go back and play it. I would get I would get all the gear again just to play it, even though we still have all the gear. If I had the money, I would buy all the gear again just so I could play it. I'm probably going to get some Game Boy Advance SPs just so we don't have to do double A's again. That was ridiculous.
Yeah. I still have all this stuff. We just need an extra Game Boy because I sold one of my other ones.
Yeah, I think you've still got my Game Boy too.
Yeah, I got yours. I got the cables and your Game Boy, my Game Boy. Yeah.
So
game somewhere.
So yeah, the gameplay was great. The combat was great.
Everything was great.
The bosses were great. The enemies were great. I hated Flans. That's pretty much it. I don't think there was anything in there that was stupid. We got a little sick of some of the harder bosses, but that's because they were the harder bosses. I like the fact that even after you leveled up a lot, you could go back to the same bosses and they would still be hard to beat because they would level up with you. Yeah. Like the first time you fight that giant crab in the first level, he's really tough to beat. But then when you level up, he's even harder because his magic upgrades and his defense goes up. His attacks are more powerful. I mean, he started using Thunderga and Slowga, and he didn't even use Slow to begin with, and then all of a sudden...
Well, actually, he did. He used the little bubble thing.
Okay, the bubble counts as Slow, yeah. But it wasn't like... It didn't look like a spell.
Yeah,
and then
like a normal spell.
And then we were playing it, and then all of a sudden he starts casting, and we're just thinking, okay, no big deal, and all of a sudden the entire screen goes green because he's using Slowga, and we just freak out because we had no idea what was going on.
Actually, no, wait, now thinking about it, did he use Slowga? I know he used Thunderga.
Yeah, because he used one that would cover the whole field.
I mean, yeah, that's what Thunderga would do.
Yeah, he used Thunderga and Slowga.
I know the Marlboro did not use Slowga.
Oh, okay, maybe that was him. But either way, the point was that it was amazing that the bosses still seemed tough, even after like the 5th time fighting them.
Right.
And I just loved that game because it was great. So yeah, now let's move on. We were going to talk about... another game that we played was Resident Evil 4, and I don't care what anybody says, that was a great game too.
Yeah. I prefer the original Resident Evils, the older ones, but they were still good. The newer ones were good too.
I like the over-the-shoulder style of the newer ones, probably because that's just what I came into. I came into the 4 first, so I'm probably kind of spoiled.
Damn it. Yeah.
But I just liked 4. It had a good story. It wasn't too difficult. Even for my suckish skills, it wasn't too difficult. It was hilarious at some points. I still love the fact that Leon's like the classic action hero.
Yeah. Well, he was a classic action hero in the second game, also, because he was first day cop.
Yeah, and then I liked the jump scares. You remember that time we were going through the abandoned military base, and you were walking down that corridor, and the whole time you were looking for jump scares, and that one time you relaxed, and then you got to the end of the corridor, and you didn't even realize it, but there was this box there, and we didn't know what it was because we weren't paying attention to it, but it turned out it was
it was like an incinerator.
A full-size oven. Yeah, as an incinerator or an oven. It looked more like an oven to me because incinerators aren't built like that, but a flaming man jumps out of it. There's an explosion, and he's roaring as he comes out, and we both freaked out. I think one of us almost fell off the bed.
Which sounds bad now that I think about it.
Yeah, but we were like 9 and 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
But we were sitting there in your room, and all of a sudden there's this big explosion, and a guy comes roaring out, and he's on fire, and he grabs you by the throat, and we both freak out. And it got us so good that you missed the reaction command, and he slammed you on the ground, which was hilarious. And then it was weird because he slammed you, and then that was all he had in him, and he died.
Yeah.
So the whole purpose of him was a jump scare. He wasn't supposed to be an enemy or anything.
I think he killed me once, actually.
That's probably because you were just low on health.
Yeah, I was low on health, and I missed the...
Because he didn't do a lot of damage. He was just there for a jump scare, and I loved it.
You know what's sad is the exact same jump scare, pretty much, is in Resident Evil 0. There's a part where you're on the train, and you go into the kitchen, and there's a freezer, walk-in freezer type thing, and he comes out of there too. So
That's funny.
So you got one on fire, and then you got one that's just frozen.
That's great. He shouldn't have been able to move if he was in the freezer.
Yeah, I think about that. I think it was a freezer. It was either a refrigerator or a freezer, but either way.
Yeah.
It was cold. I may actually go back and put picture-in-picture video of that if I can.
Yeah, if you can probably find those on YouTube, so that'd be great. But 4 was great. We had a lot of fun with that. I watched you play almost the entire thing, and it was really fun to watch. The story was great. It did start to branch away from the original Resident Evil zombie thing, but considering... Yeah. All things considered, it was great to me. I liked the cutscenes where you couldn't put your controller down because there's a chance you'd get killed. Because you actually did that one time. You put down the controller, and then Krauser flew out and stabbed you.
I was like, why?
and then at one point you thought you were done. It was like 3 times during that cutscene you thought that you were done, and you had the controller, and then he'd stab you. It was awesome.
I'm gonna go look it up and record it as a screen capture. The 2 parts we were talking about on Resident Evil.
Mm-hmm. I think that's pretty much all we've covered. We need to cover for Resident Evil 4. See, another great game that we played together was Kingdom Hearts, and that remains one of my favorites to this day. It had good graphics for its time. It had an epic storyline. The combat was great, especially for its time. The whole system was great. It had a huge supply of extras. I still haven't gone back and completed the game 100%.
Right.
all kinds of secret stuff that you showed me, like how you can fight Sephiroth in both games. It's just epic. The sequel was just as great, if not better.
Welcome.
And then Chain of Memories. I'm probably just biased because I love Kingdom Hearts, but I've loved every single Kingdom Hearts game I've played. I haven't played Dream Drop Distance yet, but that's the only one, and that's mainly because it's on the 3DS, and I'd have to buy a whole new console just to play it.
Yeah, I hate that.
Birth by Sleep, I haven't beaten it technically. I beat Terra Storyline, and I'm like halfway through Ventus's, and I think it's Ventus.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's Ventus. It goes Terra, Ventus, Aqua. And I think I just didn't play it. I quit playing PSP, and that's why I never beat it. It wasn't that hard to beat. I felt proud of myself for beating Terra's storyline so quickly.
Well, there's the man in the oven.
And I liked Chain of Memories, the PlayStation 2 adaptation of the Game Boy Advance Chain of Memories. Just because it for one thing, I lost my Chain of Memories for the Game Boy, and that made me sad because I didn't get to beat it.
Yeah.
And then for another, I liked having all the graphics of the PlayStation 2 in the Chain of Memories, because that's what I felt Chain of Memories deserved.
Yeah.
And it was just sweet. I love how deep the storyline is, and that it seems like they planned it from the beginning. Because they pretty much had to, because the whole reason that Sora even got the Keyblade was because of Ventus. And I thought that was amazing.
Wow, apparently this was the first Resident Evil this guy's ever played.
4?
No, 0. He was like, Resident Evil 0, why won't this zombie die? Okay, do you remember the standard rule that when you play Resident Evil and you kill a zombie, they have to bleed out before you know they're dead?
Yeah, they have to sort of disintegrate.
No, they don't disintegrate. That when you kill them, they lay on the ground and they bleed out. That's how you know they're dead. Okay, this guy apparently didn't know that, and he shot him, and the zombie fell down just one time, and he was like, oh, okay, he's dead. And he got back up, and he was like, oh my god, he didn't die.
Okay, well, I didn't know that.
But, anyway.
I just knew that you would know that an enemy wasn't dead as long as the corpse was still there.
That's
generally.
That's only Resident Evil 4 and 5 and 6. They don't even... Oh, yeah, 6. No? Yeah.
That was just because they needed to get rid of the corpses so that they didn't slow down the frame rate or something.
But see, with the older games, every new room you went into, it would load a new area, which means the other area, like, it doesn't have to load all that stuff at the same time.
Yeah. But then Resident Evil 4 got a lot bigger than the older ones.
But see, like...
So that's why.
But like in Resident Evil 1 for the GameCube, the remake, when you killed a zombie, it would stay there and it wouldn't leave after you killed it. And so many times after you walk by it, it'll turn into a crimson head. And it'll come back to life stronger and faster.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
No, because I never played it.
Yeah, you did. You watched me play it.
Oh, well, I don't remember that. That was forever ago. So, let's see, what other games have we got to talk about? Because we've only gotten up to, like, 2005 right now. But we've that's pretty much all the nostalgia stuff. Everything else is pretty recent. I think we played some Crash Bandicoot, but we already covered that. Sly Cooper, I liked that one.
Yeah, Sly Cooper. Man, that was a good game. I'll be thinking 100%. Got everything.
I didn't get to play it, but I liked seeing it. You and I have never played Super Smash Brothers together, but I played them with other people, and I really like those games.
I've played them before.
I've played the original on the N64. I've played Melee on the GameCube, and I've played Brawl on the Wii. And I didn't really like Brawl because it was hard to get used to the controls. I would want to use a GameCube controller if I played it.
Yeah.
Because the Wii is just too frustrating.
Right.
The characters were interesting, but I could barely play with the other characters, so having all these new ones just made it worse. I mean, like I said, I suck at video games. I definitely suck at Smash Brothers, but I like playing it.
But yeah, on the Resident Evil remake, when you kill a zombie, it will just lay there until the whole game, until so many times you run by it, pretty much. It'll turn red, it'll pick it, and it'll get back up and have claws, and it runs at you, and it's just scary. The only way you can prevent that is if you blew off the zombie's head with the gun beforehand, or you burn the body.
That's not cool.
Yeah. It sucks. But it makes the game more challenging because in the original Resident Evil they didn't have that.
So you pretty much had to either do all that stuff or you had to beat the game before you walked past the zombies that many times?
There's no way you can beat the game before you do that.
Oh, okay.
Because you have to go back into each room pretty much 3 or 4 times throughout the whole game.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we should get a GameCube emulator. Or no, I have. What am I talking about? I have the GameCube and that game.
I was about to say.
Somewhere. I don't know where it's at. I'll go look for it.
Should we talk about more recent games? Because we pretty much covered all the oldies.
Oldies and goodies.
Were there any Game Boy games that we didn't cover? I didn't really play a lot of Game Boy games. I just did Pokemon.
Yeah, I just did Pokemon 2, pretty much. I mean, I had a couple of other...
Oh, GameCube games. I didn't talk about those, besides Crystal Chronicles. There was one that I found. I think it's kind of obscure. It's called Custom Robo. I don't know if you played that one a lot with me, but I really liked it. I don't know who made it. I could go...
a little bit.
I liked the combat style. It's... The way Custom Robo worked is you had these little robots. They're like just a few inches tall. And you would insert them into this projected environment, like a little battle arena. And you would fight with them. And it's kind of weird because it's like when you first get them, the Custom Robo cube that they're stored in, you would it would scan your eye and it would identify you as the user, and whenever you used it you would look into the scanner and they called it a dive, and it was like you were viewing through the eyes of the Custom Robo.
Oh, shit.
And so it was like you were the robot and you were fighting. And so whenever you got beaten, it would cause like an injury or something to your... It would interrupt your brainwaves or something like that, and it would knock you out. So it was kind of weird because it would actually affect you in the real world. And that was one of the key plot points, was that people had illegal custom robos that were so powerful they would kill people.
Oh, wow.
And it had an interesting story. It was actually really good to me. And I liked all the customization because there was like 300 guns and bodies and all that stuff. So we talked about Kirby Air Ride. What else do I have? Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD. Those were good. I'm still a gigantic Pokemon nerd. And those were no exception. They were great.
Yeah. What was, I'm trying to think of some other stuff. A while back, I rented a Mega Man anniversary thing for the GameCube. That was really awesome. It was basically every single Mega Man game that ever came out for like Nintendo and stuff. It was really cool. Which reminds me, we gotta play Mega Man sometime.
Yeah, that would be good. Like, which one?
Any of them, really.
That reminds me, though, that I played a couple of the Mega Man games for Game Boy, the Battle Network ones. I played Battle Network 5 and Battle Network 6. Those were the last two that they made, and that made me sad because it's like just about everything in my childhood. I would get into it at the tail end of it, and then it would end.
Yeah.
I'd get to enjoy it for like 3 months. I played Mega Man. Oh, and then the Mega Man Zero games. Those were good.
Oh, I didn't mean to press that button.
I liked Zero.
Yeah. I played Mega Man Legends. Well, you played Mega Man Legends too.
I don't remember. Oh, that one, the PlayStation game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. I don't know what it was because it was just interesting. It was enjoyable.
Yeah. There's a Mega Man Legends 2 that I've never got to play. Disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
The people are wanting Mega Man Legends 3. I keep seeing petitions and whatever for it.
There's a lot of games that should have never died.
Yeah. A lot of good shows that should have never died too.
Yeah, like the Mega Man show, that one shouldn't have ended. You know how bad it was that they shut it down in the middle of a season for some strange reason. I don't know why. I never looked it up. And it was so bad that people were sending in protests to the channel, the station, that they wanted Mega Man back, and so they brought it back long enough to finish the season out. It was like one full week of episodes, one day after the next.
Oh wow!
So it was like 7 episodes.
It was just like with Toonami. I mean, how long did it take them to bring that back?
It's like
5
8
years.
Yeah.
God. They started bringing back. They're still showing newer shows, but they got some of the older shows too. I just saw Tenchi Muyo being played last night. I used to watch that when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Good shows. Okay.
That's pretty much all the old games. How long have we been talking?
23 minutes.
Already? Sheesh.
Which reminds me, we've been talking so seriously lately. I think we need to go into some less serious stuff.
What's less serious?
I don't know. Flaming Dog Peppers, Flaming Rabbits, Rabid Rabbits, Rayman. I don't know. I just want to put a bunch of features in.
Flaming Pikachu.
What? Flaming Pikachu?
I can't wait to see what pictures you find.
Oh god. Oh god, why? Oh, since I said oh god, why, I get to put that meme in. So...
Flaming Fire.
Really? Flaming Fire. Flaming Dr. Pepper drinking Pikachu. Wait, what?
Wait, what? I will give you $20 if you find a picture of that you don't have to make yourself.
Oh,
A flaming Dr. Pepper drinking Pikachu.
that ain't gonna work.
I'll even allow it if you find a Pikachu drinking Dr. Pepper, because that's kind of how that could work.
Okay.
Or no, it would be a Pikachu drinking flaming Dr. Pepper, because it would. Because what?
If the Pikachu's on fire, does it still count?
Yeah, I guess so. If you can find a flaming Pikachu drinking Dr. Pepper. Good grief! You can't make it though. You have to find it.
Darn it.
Because I would pay money to see that. That sounds hilarious.
I'm on a mission.
It has to be something that already exists, though. It's cheating if you get somebody to make it or something. So, actually, what we just did was we did what we were originally intending to do, was talk about video games. We weren't originally intending to be funny. It just turned into funny randomness.
What the?
I hope people stuck around long enough to listen to this, because we did kind of get boring there for a second if nobody likes these games.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, oh god, they suck. They suck.
So maybe you'll just insert. Well, no, you'll have pictures popping up for everything we talked about, so at least that would be entertaining.
Hopefully.
This is going to be a lot of fun to edit, isn't it? You'll have an hour's worth of content.
Yep. Here's something interesting. I found a Pikachu carved out of a pumpkin.
That sounds awesome.
And a Pokeball carved out of a pumpkin.
Less awesome, but still awesome. Harley's going to feel like he missed out when he hears all this.
Yeah, he probably don't care.
That's true.
He couldn't make it. Ooh, look, there's Spider-Man and... Cool.
What, Flaming Spider-Man?
No, Spider-Man pumpkin.
Oh, well now you have to find a Flaming Spider-Man since I said it.
I couldn't find a Flaming Pikachu.
Well. Oh well.
What the heck? Okay.
Did we cover all the stuff we were going to talk about?
I think so.
Oh, we were going to mention other stuff, like you were going to throw out your Minecraft server name.
Whoa! Found the most epic picture of a Flaming Spider-Man.
Flaming Spider-Man. Now, go ahead and talk about your Minecraft server.
Oh, okay. So, so I run a server, a Minecraft server.
Nice.
And I'll put the link in the description for that too. Here is the page. The IP is right here. I'll put that in the description also. And I'm not sure what to talk about it. We don't have a lot of people on it, so I'm trying to get more people on it. It's been dead here lately.
He uses a lot of mods, so if you don't like that, then that's not for you.
It's well, they're plugins, but yeah.
It's still mods.
Yeah, so I really don't use a lot. Like, Harley just likes to over-exaggerate, but anyway.
Harley just prefers vanilla Minecraft, and
I prefer chocolate.
At one point, you had too many mods. You've got less now, but at one point you had too many.
When?
Back when you had crap, I can't even think about it now. You had a lot of classes and special attacks and
that was just one mod.
And okay, well, it was one mod, but it altered it so much that it was a little frustrating. And then not being able to use certain weapons if you weren't a certain level or something like that.
That wasn't me. That was Ben.
Oh, okay.
I made it to where everybody could use everything.
Well, either way, it's better now than it was.
Yeah, okay.
Less is more. So that's the server. If anybody plays DeadFrontier, we can throw out our DeadFrontier usernames. You can add us as buddies or whatever they call it on there. We are really low level, so if you're big player of it, you won't really care. But if you wanted to catch up with us on there, send us stuff. Yes, send us stuff. His name is Onewingseraphim, all one word, and then mine is Tomodachi.
Yep. All right.
How about your gamer tag?
Oh yeah. My Xbox Live gamer tag is Onewingseraphim. I'll put that in the description also.
So you can message him for whatever you want.
Yeah, Xbox Live and DeadFrontier, same thing.
I don't have an Xbox, so I don't have a gamer tag. I play PlayStation, and I don't get on the PlayStation Network, so there's not much point in giving my PlayStation Network username.
Okay. So this is like the longest podcast ever.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We had fun.
Maybe we won't bore anybody with it.
I already said having fun was the point, so...
Yeah. If you don't like it, whatever. Hurt my feelings. Or my felines.
And then they'll have to go watch the behind the scenes to get that joke.
And then if you hurt my felines, you're gonna get in trouble for domestic animal abuse.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So we're officially out of time. Corey, any last words?
Hi.